The world of astronomy is buzzing tonight after a stunning and mysterious event shook both scientists and the public. The interstellar object known as 3I/Atlas, a colossal, icy body estimated to weigh more than 33 billion tons, has just completed a close flyby of Mars. What makes this event truly shocking isn't just the comet's behavior but the fact that, almost simultaneously, NASA's communication and observation systems experienced an unexplained shutdown. The timing has fueled a storm of speculation across the internet. Was this merely a coincidence, or did something extraordinary happen as 3I/Atlas passed the red planet? Hours before the shutdown, astronomers from observatories around the globe were monitoring the comet's trajectory with intense precision. 3I/Atlas had been accelerating slightly, its coma expanding, and its tail stretching millions of kilometers into space as it approached Mars's orbit. Then, without warning, multiple telescopes recorded a sudden spike in infrared brightness, a sign that something within the object had changed dramatically. Some suggested an outgassing event, where internal ice bursts free from deep beneath the surface, while others feared something more unusual, a structural fracture, or perhaps the release of an unknown material never seen before in any comet. Just as this was being observed, NASA's Deep Space Network, which maintains contact with nearly every spacecraft in operation, reported a complete systems failure. Communication with Mars orbiters went silent for nearly 3 hours. Official statements described it as a temporary systems outage, the result of software synchronization issues. But the timing couldn't have been worse. During those exact 3 hours, 3I/Atlas reached its closest point to Mars, the moment scientists had been waiting for since its discovery. When systems finally came back online, the data logs revealed unusual gaps. Some instruments aboard the Mars Reconnaissance Orbiter showed corrupted telemetry. Cameras that were supposed to capture the comet's passage had recorded only a brief flash of intense light before going offline. NASA's engineers worked quickly to restore data access, but by the time full functionality was achieved, 3I/Atlas had already continued on its path away from Mars. The world's leading space agencies have remained quiet about what exactly happened, issuing only brief technical explanations while avoiding deeper commentary. Meanwhile, independent astronomers who had been tracking the event through private telescopes reported strange readings. Amateur radio operators detected bursts of electromagnetic interference near the same frequencies NASA uses for deep space communication. To some, it seemed like a natural side effect of the comet's ion tail interacting with solar wind. To others, it felt like something deliberate, an organized pattern in the noise, almost rhythmic, pulsing in a way that seemed too structured to be random. The idea that 3I/Atlas could somehow be emitting intelligent signals might sound far-fetched, yet history reminds us that interstellar objects are still full of surprises. When Oumuamua passed through our solar system in 2017, its strange acceleration and cigar-like shape puzzled experts and inspired debates about whether it was a natural rock or an artificial probe. Now, 8 years later, 3I/Atlas has reignited that same controversy on a much larger scale. Unlike Oumuamua, which was relatively small, Atlas is immense, a drifting mountain of ice, rock, and perhaps metals unknown to our world. The James Webb Space Telescope has already recorded unusual readings from its surface, elevated CO2 levels, faint traces of heavy elements, and an internal heat pattern that defies current models of thermal diffusion. Normally, comets reflect sunlight but generate little heat of their own. Yet Webb detected hotspots deep within Atlas, as if something below its crust was generating energy. Scientists proposed several explanations: radioactive decay, trapped gas pockets, or mechanical stress fractures, but none perfectly fit the data. Now, after its Mars encounter and NASA's mysterious blackout, the mystery only deepens. The question now dominating both scientific and online communities is simple but profound: what really happened as 3I/Atlas passed Mars? Some speculate that the comet released a burst of ionized particles that temporarily interfered with Mars's thin magnetic field, triggering a cascade of electromagnetic effects that disrupted communication. Others think a small fragment of the comet might have collided with Mars's upper atmosphere, producing a blinding flash strong enough to overload sensors. A few even suggest something more controversial, that the object's emissions or internal energy could be artificial in nature, a remnant of technology from another system traveling across interstellar space. NASA has denied all such claims, emphasizing that 3I/Atlas poses no threat to Earth and remains a purely natural celestial body. Yet the agency's silence about the missing telemetry, and its decision to restrict public access to certain images, has only fueled more speculation. Some online researchers claim that leaked tracking data shows the comet's trajectory subtly shifted after the Mars encounter, as if it had been influenced by something unexpected, a gravitational anomaly, a directed outburst, or an interaction no one predicted. What makes the story even more intriguing is how closely this timing aligns with an internal data lockdown across multiple research networks. Several observatories affiliated with NASA and the European Space Agency reported that their automatic data feeds suddenly went offline at the same moment as the Deep Space Network outage. Officially, it was due to cybersecurity maintenance, but to many observers, the explanation seemed oddly convenient. Could this have been an effort to prevent the release of unverified information until NASA could review the data? If 3I/Atlas has indeed changed course or released unknown material near Mars, the implications could be staggering. Even a small shift could alter predictions for its path through the inner solar system. It remains on a hyperbolic trajectory, meaning it will eventually leave our solar system, but before it does, it may pass close enough for further observation from Earth-based telescopes. If it brightens or behaves erratically again, astronomers may finally glimpse the answers they've been searching for. Across the globe, scientists are rushing to re-establish tracking. Infrared telescopes in Chile and Hawaii have resumed monitoring, while the James Webb team has scheduled a new observation window to study the object as it moves beyond Mars's orbit. Meanwhile, NASA technicians are combing through data from the Shutdown window, attempting to reconstruct what was lost. A senior systems engineer described the effort as trying to rebuild a jigsaw puzzle with missing pieces. Every recovered byte of data might reveal what truly happened during those critical hours. While official reports emphasize that the situation is under control, space enthusiasts can't ignore the uncanny pattern. Each interstellar visitor we've encountered, first Oumuamua, then Borisov, and now Atlas, has brought phenomena that defy easy explanation. Oumuamua accelerated without a visible propulsion source. Borisov burned brighter than predicted, its chemistry alien to known comets. And now, Atlas passes Mars as NASA's systems mysteriously falter. Coincidence, perhaps. But the pattern feels unsettlingly familiar. Tonight, social media feeds are flooded with speculation. Some users claim that amateur telescopes briefly captured flashes near Mars after the shutdown began, perhaps lightning-like discharges caused by the comet's tail interacting with charged particles. Others insist NASA knows more than it's saying, suggesting that sensitive imagery might show fragments, debris, or plasma fields never before seen. Scientists urge caution, reminding everyone that anomalies in deep space communication are not uncommon, especially during solar flare activity. Still, even among professionals, curiosity has shifted to quiet unease. If nothing else, 3I/Atlas has proven that the universe can still surprise us. It's a messenger from beyond, traveling for millions of years through interstellar darkness before crossing paths with our solar system. Whether it carries simple dust and ice or something more enigmatic, its journey reminds us how small and fragile our technological world is in the face of cosmic forces we barely understand. NASA promises a full report in the coming weeks. Until then, astronomers continue to watch as 3I/Atlas drifts away from Mars, its glowing tail stretching across the void, silent, immense, and full of unanswered questions. For now, all we can do is look up, wonder what truly happened during those dark hours of the NASA shutdown, and wait for the next revelation from this mysterious visitor from the stars. Continuation, the aftermath of the Mars flyby. As the hours passed after 3I/Atlas swept past Mars, data began streaming in from deep space tracking arrays. At first, it looked routine, just another hyperbolic comet making its way through the solar system. But then, scientists noticed something profoundly unsettling. The object's velocity didn't behave according to gravity. Normally, as a comet slingshots around a planet, its path follows a predictable curve, dictated by celestial mechanics. But 3I/Atlas didn't. Instead, it adjusted course slightly, as if it responded to the planet's gravitational field rather than being fully controlled by it. Dr. Mia Kessler, a dynamicist at NASA's Jet Propulsion Laboratory, described it as one of the most confounding orbital anomalies since Oumuamua. She noted that a deviation of even 0.002 degrees in trajectory at this distance could translate into millions of kilometers of displacement by the time it reaches Earth's orbit. "We ran the math," she said, "and it doesn't add up. Either we're missing some form of outgassing, or this thing is actively maneuvering." Satellite data blackout and silence from mission control. Around the same time, NASA's Deep Space Network reported intermittent data dropouts from the Mars Reconnaissance Orbiter and Perseverance rover. For several hours, both missions went silent, only to resume communication later, with partial data logs missing. Within hours, online speculation exploded. Hashtags like #NASA Shutdown and #3iAtlas began trending globally. Amateur astronomers uploaded telescope footage showing a brightening halo around the object, suggesting it was either outgassing in an unusual pattern or emitting light in a way that defied natural explanation. Meanwhile, official NASA channels remained quiet, except for a brief post-sighting scheduled maintenance across several data platforms. But the timing raised eyebrows. Why would critical space monitoring systems go offline precisely as an interstellar object passed a neighboring planet? Rumors began circulating among independent researchers that the shutdown might have been intentional, designed to conceal whatever 3I/Atlas was doing as it passed Mars. Milky Way a signal or something more? Then came the most shocking revelation of all. Radio astronomers in Chile and Japan detected narrowband bursts, structured, repeating, and originating from the same coordinates as 3I/Atlas. At first, it was dismissed as interference. But after cross-verification, the signals appeared consistent, lasting for nearly 2 minutes and then ceasing abruptly. Dr. Laurent Meunier from the European Southern Observatory said in a hastily arranged press briefing, "This isn't cosmic noise. This pattern carries encoded rhythm, it's ordered, not random. Something inside that object is either transmitting or reflecting a modulated signal." NASA did not confirm or deny the reports. However, insiders leaked that portions of the James Webb Space Telescope's deep-skin data of the object were locked behind restricted access, available only to certain divisions within the U.S. defense community. Rocket theories explode across the internet. By the following morning, the internet was ablaze with theories. Was 3I/Atlas a probe, sent intentionally to survey planetary systems? Was it carrying unknown materials, or worse, some form of autonomous intelligence? Others speculated that its strange course change was the result of alien technology responding to Mars' magnetic field. Some believed that Mars' thin atmosphere might have revealed something beneath the comet's surface, a structure, or a signal emitter. On X, formerly Twitter, space analysts argued in real time, with some noting that JWST had tracked temperature fluctuations across the comet's nucleus. That could mean internal heat, possibly a power source, or reactions unlike anything previously recorded in natural comets. Locked government responses and international alerts. In Washington, D.C., a quiet but tense meeting was reported between NASA, the Pentagon, and representatives from the European Space Agency. Unverified leaks from those briefings suggested that the object's mass had been underestimated. It might actually weigh closer to 35 billion tons, making it significantly denser than ice or rock alone could explain. Chinese and Russian observatories also reported tracking data inconsistencies, as if the object's signal signature had shifted frequencies, making it difficult to track in infrared or radio. NASA's temporary data shutdown, they said, might not have been to hide information, but to recalibrate systems overwhelmed by unexplainable readings. Still, many aren't convinced.